All right, are we good to go? I think we can start it off. Larry, you good?
I'm fabulous.
Perfect. I want to make sure. Got one more person.
All
right.
You can see the mountains this year, which I'm very happy about. All right. We good? All right. Thank you, everyone inside the Virtual Media Center here at the ANA Inspiration. Just once again, we will open it up for questions in a little bit, but please keep yourself muted until I call on you. You can utilize the chat function or use the raise hand function on Zoom to let me know that you have a question. I'll be sure to call on you. But with that, Lexi, thank you for joining us here today. How are you feeling?
I feel great. It's great to be back at the ANA Inspiration. Brings back a lot of good memories just being here, and the course is definitely in the best shape that I've ever seen it. So I'm just excited to start the week up.
You're coming off some pretty great momentum with the T2 finish last week. What was it about the Kia Classic that really brought out some of the best of your game?
That's a golf course I don't really get to hit a lot of drivers on. It's a lot more placement, so a lot of 2-irons and 3-woods off the tees. But I played well. I've been working extremely hard in my off weeks, so just seeing that hard work pay off, that's what all of us athletes want to see, all of our hard work going to work. And it was just a great week. We had good weather, so that always helps, and it came together for me.
With a couple of off weeks before the Kia Classic, what were some of the things that you were working on?
Everything. My mental game, my game in general, but a lot of short game. I put a lot of work in on my chipping and putting hours a day, and just really making sure that my ball striking was more consistent. That's what I've been working on the most with it. Worked a few lessons with Martin Hall, so definitely helped out there. And I don't know, just keeping things simple, but at the same time just trying to improve on little things.
Have you worked with Martin before, or?
I haven't. I just started a few months ago, so I've seen him about 2 or 3 times now.
Oh, well, definitely the performances. I feel like we can see some difference there.
Well, thank you.
Well, with that, this is the first major championship of the season. You have some really great memories here. It's the 50th anniversary. What is it like as a past champion to kind of revisit some of those memories as we celebrate the 50th edition?
It's incredible just to come back here to Mission Hills. I have a lot of great memories here, but I also played in this event when I was an amateur as well, so I go way back. But it's just a special atmosphere. Unfortunately, we don't have fans out here, but it's just very relaxing to come here. We usually always have good weather. It might get windy sometimes here and there, but it's just a blessing to be out here. The golf course is in great shape, and the history, tradition, it's kind of like the women's Masters for us, it feels.
You're not the only one to say that. Nelly also said that, but I believe this is your 12th ANA Inspiration or double-digit number in some way. What does that mean to you just to be able to continue with such great play leading into this week over the last couple of years that you've been here?
It's crazy to think that this is my 12th. It probably is. And it's just great to be back. I always have a smile on my face when I come back here driving in, and but bringing good play into it. I've been playing well, but it's a new week, so I'm just going to go into the week with a positive attitude, knowing that I've put in the work and do my few practice rounds and making sure that I know everything on the golf course and get me ready for Thursday.
When you're able to see those results like we did, like you saw at Kia, what does that do for your confidence leading into the season's first major?
It does a lot for my confidence, but I think anybody's in general, just knowing that you've put in the hard work and dedication and see it pay off under the gun and under pressure and everything. So it's just great to see, and it just makes me want to continue to work even harder to hopefully win and just see the results continue to improve.
All right, with that, we'll open it up to some questions here. Larry?
This golf course was a lot different the last time you saw it in September. It was hotter and it was smokier, but it was also different grass and different firmness. Are you happy to be back to where it's supposed to be?
Yeah, I definitely am. The golf course is just so healthy right now. I mean, it was in great shape in September, don't get me wrong, but it's just way more green, way more healthy. It's definitely meant to be at this time of the year, I believe. But we have some great weather, and this is probably the best I've ever seen the golf course shape-wise. So I think we're all just very looking forward to being out here this week.
I know in September they had to keep the greens a little softer because of the heat, the water. They're a little firmer again this week, but particularly on 18 without the wall there. Is that going to be a decision shot for you out in the middle of the 18th?
Yeah, it will. Depending, obviously, when they have the tee back, won't be going for it, especially with this wind, with it being into. But once they move the tee up, if I get into a good number, but I always said I hit 4-iron in today, and I imagine that the tee was up and just placed the ball there and it stopped. But it has to be a really good number for me to go for it.
Did you aim at that wall last year, or was it just in your way?
Did I aim at what?
The wall last year on 18.
Oh, no. I mean, I probably just pulled it. No, because I always just try to hit the green. I wasn't trying to backstop it, but no, I think it's just an amazing finishing hole. Unfortunately, we don't have the fans there, like basically on top of us on the green. I think that's what I enjoyed most about it. Not so much that it was like a backstop, but just having the fans and feeling the excitement and energy from them. I just absolutely love that.
And that's actually my last question is, when you come here and there aren't any fans, what's the one thing you notice about it? Is it just the cheering or the rooting for you? Or?
When the fans are out here? Yeah, I mean, I'd honestly say that, because even when I struggled out here on the few holes, they're always behind me, always saying, keep it up. And they're always just so positive. You can just feel the energy off them. And there's always a ton of people out here supporting us. And you can just tell they're true golf fans. So hopefully we'll be back to that soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lexi, you're 49 under par over the last 5 years here. 13 strokes better than your closest competitor.
Who comes up with that stat?
Justin Ray did.
Okay.
But I would imagine the way that you perform out here would translate to a win sooner than later in how you perform. Would you agree?
I mean, I'd hope so. Honestly, all of us want to go in and try to win every tournament that we tee it up at. But I'm just going to take one shot at a time, focus on just having a good time out in the golf course. I've been working hard on my mental game and just being more relaxed out there. And hopefully that helps me out more than anything. I know I've put in the work physically on my game and everything. So just letting it go and letting my true talent show is what I want. And, if that comes out to a win, great. If not, I'm going to continue working.
Mm-hmm. How do you deal with a major championship pressure week now versus maybe earlier in your career?
I would say earlier in my career, like when I didn't play as much as a full schedule, I think there was a little bit more pressure on the majors just because, major championship, I wasn't playing too much, so there was a lot more pressure on that aspect of it. But into every tournament, I have the same mindset. Like, of course, I want to play well, I want to win every time I tee it up. But majors, the golf course is a little bit more difficult, usually set up a little bit more difficult and requires more thought process, but same mindset. So that's what I'm going into this week with.
All right, with that, we're going to open it up to some questions via Zoom. Zephyr, I know you have a question. If you'd like to unmute yourself.
Lexi, whenever you're playing a course and the weather is supposed to be hot and dry, how does your fitness and nutrition routine change?
Yeah, that's a great question. I drink about a water every hole or 2 holes out here, so I'm drinking a ton of water. It's super important. And when I get my rounds going, I'll make sure to eat every 2-3 holes. Doesn't really, I do that normally, but when it's super hot out, it's just drinking a ton of water. Probably almost double the amount here with how hot it's going to be.
All right. Thank you for that one. Again, if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know in the chat here. But as we begin to wrap it up, Lexi, you said it before, but you have such special memories of this place, the work that you've been putting in. What would it mean for you to be able to win a second time here at the 8A Inspiration?
It would mean the world to me. This place has so much history and tradition behind it, and jumping into Poppy's Pond is my favorite memory of my career, jumping in there with my family. So I hope to do it again sometime, and it's always my goal coming into this event. I just absolutely love it. So, of course, I want to win, but everybody else does, so I just have to focus on my game and see where that takes me.
All right. Susan, I believe you have a question. If you'd like to unmute yourself. I can ask to unmute. No problem.
No. Sorry. I was scratching my head.
Oh, no problem. All right. No problem at all. All right. Thank you for that. I think that will wrap it up here. Thank you, Lexi, for joining us and good luck this week.
Thank you, guys.